Hello and welcome to the Big Small Business Show on AFRICUNIA television. And today I'll be discussing royalty designs in Nigeria. And with me is Blakadudu. Welcome to the show. It's good to have you.
It's nice having you here.
So I went through your designs and I saw the way you align fabrics. It's really beautiful and magnificent. So I want you to tell me a little about yourself and how and what made you go into, the royalty designs.
Fashion for me, I see it as art. Working everything, basically putting things together. Art can come in different forms. Let's say, even for you seated here, you are trying to portray art based on what you do, bringing people out. So everything I see, everything I've worked on my entire life has been the basis of art. So fashion has been an inborn thing. Let me not call it inborn, a forced to use thing, because I was forced to actually go into fashion. I never
Can you expatiate
I never
on
see
that?
myself in the fashion world.
Okay.
It's a home, it's a family business though.
Okay.
So when I was done with my secondary school, all I wanted to do was go to school. I wanted to go to Unilag. So I wasted 4 years at home because Unilag would not give me admission. Other schools give me admission, but Unilag will not give me admission. And I was mandatory on the thing has to be Unilag. Actually, I never knew what God was preparing me for. So my 4 years stay at home, I learned fashion from my mom. But my mom doesn't work royalty. She does the ashoke, she does the regulars. But for me, I see regular as being boring. I'm an irregular person, everything seems irregular since someone that's more irregular comes to make the regular out of the regular. Okay,
so you mentioned your mom is actually into ashoke.
Yes.
And you're doing something totally different.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to develop your own ideas?
Working back to how the fashion industry has been, for me, everything I do has been the basis of God. I work all my things based on God. Okay. It's just I would say it's an inspiration from God because I never knew how I started.
Everybody says it's an inspiration from God.
Yes, I just know I started. Even there are some times while working out designs, my workers, my crews, they be like, can we actually achieve this? Imagine working one single job for 4 months.
Are you serious right now?
Is it possible? Can we achieve it? It got to a point, we had a royalty design we wanted to work. We worked it for almost 4 months. Even me, myself, at the verge of that 4 months because I was having negativity being left and right. Are we sure this thing will give us what we want? Are we sure we will achieve this thing? I was sure this design is because even the thread for the design, we couldn't get it here in Nigeria. We have to ship it in. Imagine us shipping a thread in, and then for that duration of 4 months, we should now have fuck-ups on the job based on thread we shipped in for us to work. So
coming to that, your inspiration to all of your ideas, all of your beautiful ideas, is God.
It's God. Let's just put it on God. I'm nobody without him.
Okay. For me, I would say this is a culture.
Okay.
The whole royalty. It's seated on culture.
Yes.
But what I want to know is, how did you establish your culture? Are you a traditional worshiper or something? Because looking at all of your collections, it feels very traditional. I'm not going to say kind of, but very, very traditional in a kind of way. So how do you establish your culture?
Are you Yoruba?
No, unfortunately.
Okay, there's an adage in Yoruba that says, Omo to ba solenu.
I don't know what that means, but
so
it's really
let me give you a direct meaning to that. It means if you tend to forget about your home, then there's definitely a day where you have to suffer for it. Then you remember your roots. So that's just what it means. We youth of nowadays, we tend to forgotten culture, forget about our culture. We all want to live in the modern life. Yeah. In which even the modernity of now come to our health, come to our lifestyle, affect a lot of things about us. My grandma died recently. Okay. She's 96. So imagine someone that is 96. My great grandma died at 106. these are the people that deprive themselves from the modernity of these days, like the things they eat, what they are like get exposed to, based on what we have now. A lot of us always want to be like, they are things of the past. They are things of the past. They are never things of the past. They are things we should always embrace, because even the white people that colonized us took everything till now from us. Imagine a white person. I have a customer, is a white person, and then he appeased the gods. A white person that appeased the gods. There's something they call Oduifa. He reads the Oduifa fluently. Oduifa is like you reading the Bible.
Okay.
So he reads the Oduifa fluently. He will recite the Oduifa from his head. Now sit a Yoruba person down. Ask him or her, did you know about the Oduifa? He asks you, what did you mean by the Oduifa? Are you a traditionalist? No. You knowing about it doesn't mean you are a traditionalist, but you just have to get educated so that you learn about it outside. I'm a Christian. Okay. I go to church, but I have prior knowledge of all these things.
So do you think it's the prior knowledge to all of these things that you know that inspired the Black Adudu brand?
It's actually not the prior knowledge of these things. What actually inspired the Black Adudu brand is like a recall to culture. A recall to culture, come to look at it, a blend of culture and then our modern life. Come to our realities. We have some of our realities in which we have to go back, way back the olden days materials, then we infuse some embroideries that of these modern days to them, so that will bring out the rich culture of what these materials actually look like. Because there are some designs we actually want to do definitely in like those days, but because the youth of nowadays don't actually venture into them again, you go to even where the designs originate from. Do you know what they tell us? They tell us that the children don't embrace the culture anymore, that the old men doing the things are no more, they are gone. So it means the whole thing has died off.
Okay, about that culture part, we'll go on a short break now, and when we come back, we'll talk more on the culture. Welcome back, guys. This is the Big Small Business Show. And remember, this program is sponsored by AFRICUNIA. Now, Black Adudu, before we went on that break, you were emphasizing on culture and how it has an impact to your design. So, can you like expatiate more on that?
Culture, actually, I see the main culture thing as my own form of art, as the irregularity people tend to throw away. You know, to me, normal is actually boring. I don't even look normal myself.
Yes, so you don't.
living in the normality of everything actually means then my creative life will have to go off. So I have to work my creative life to the abnormality of the things around me. And
it's really working, because I don't. It's very rare to see wonderful designs like this. It's really, really rare. So the next question will be, what are the strategies to your market? Who are your markets? Who are your end users? Because for me, I don't see myself wearing, don't get me wrong, it's beautiful and you know, it's very gorgeous, but I don't see myself wearing all of that embroiderment and what's not. So who are actually your end products?
You know the Queen of England actually doesn't share any design with anybody, because a regular person doesn't see him or herself wearing what she wears. Sometimes it's not in terms of affordability, but in terms of style, this thing is too serious. You understand? So you see, for every market, there's always a target audience. Like one of my fathers will say, Emperor Telu, he will say, people that will buy your market, they know themselves. There was this, I will not make mention of these people. They will tell you that their customers are not on the television. They don't seem to watch the television. You should have presumed the company, I mean. So, you know, sometimes my customers actually comes from referrals, and then my Instagram pages.
So
then
who are
little
they?
of
Are they?
adverts. I work mostly with royalties, then people that tends to be royal. So those are the kind of people I work for.
Okay, you mean like Obas and
Yeah, those are the kind of people I work for.
Okay,
The
that's-
Obas, the Queens, the Erelus. So those are the kind of people I work for. You know, being in such a position, you always want to portray the true reality of what you actually look like. And working reality is not a simple task. Fabric selection, because you cannot work much embroideries on fabrics and then at the long run find out that the fabric is bad.
So do you just do fabrics, or are there other you know, because I think variety has to do with the crowns,
Yes.
the shoes,
Yeah, we
and
do.
what's
We work crowns.
Okay.
We work crowns, but sorry, we try to work our crowns based on modernity,
Okay.
but infusing culture into modernity.
Okay.
Just like I said earlier, we have to have a blend of culture and our modern life.
Yeah.
Because I can't say because we are working on culture all through, then I put away my television. It's a blend of culture and modernity,
Okay.
where art sits with art. So we work the crowns, we work the royal staffs, we work shoes, we work complete attires. We actually do unisex basically. And then coming to the modernity, we do wedding dresses. We do wedding dresses, we do suits.
So these wedding dresses have a touch of culture?
Yeah, for every wedding dress has a touch of culture, because way back in the olden days, if for any job they are doing, they are all hand stitched, because machine doesn't exist then. So our own wedding dresses we work actually are hand stitched, which means we have to infuse like 2, 3, 4 fabrics on a wedding dress. So once we are done with the wedding dress, you find it hard to get that exact fabric in the market. That's why most of our jobs come on custom made. Imagine you getting from a part of this lace, a part of this lace, a part of this material, then you are infusing everything on just one dress. Then somebody now come upon that, okay, when I get to the market, I'll get this exact lace.
It's not possible.
We are ready to work.
Oh, that's really good. Now, you know, it's said that every business have its advantage and disadvantages. So I want you to relay on the disadvantages of this business, because no matter how you sugarcoat it, make it sound really good, there are really a lot of disadvantages in it. So
yeah, for every business actually there are lots of disadvantages. Come to convincing your clients, because you know reality are not cheap.
I wanted to ask that, is it really affordable with all of the
reality are actually cheap? Let me put it this way, luxury is not expensive.
Okay.
It's only affordable.
Okay.
So reality are actually affordable. You understand? So coming to the aspect of the affordability of reality, that's when you have to convince your customers and be like, okay, this thing I'm buying, is it worth it? This thing I'm buying. There are some customers actually, they think the more they pay, the more you put in every designs on their fabric. You know, you always have issues like that. But for every design, we are trying to make it tell a story, make it portray something. We don't just work fabrics and just give fabrics out. Come to fabrics, we have disadvantages on fabrics. There are some fabrics that once we are asked to work on them, we ourselves we are confused. Can this work? But days, nights of brainstorming, we have to work on them. Come to my crew. Sometimes reality is not a one-man job.
So like how many hands can you or do you need to get a particular job done?
There are some realities though. I need like 4 to 5 hands. Okay, now I draft out my designs. I take them down to my embroidery studios. My embroidery studios have the designs digitized. So
you actually pass through so many orders just to get done.
My embroidery studios have to. I draft designs. After drafting my designs, I send them to the embroidery studio. They have to digitize and convert them to the machine language. After converting to the machine language, I cut the fabrics, send them back to the embroidery studio. They place it, in which sometimes it used to 3 days for machine to run embroidery on some. After that, bring it back to the embroidery studio. I couple the whole thing together. Then I send them down to my embellishment studio. Still same in this place. They run the embellishment, comes to the aspect of stones, the studs, just to make blings on them.
So in all, convincing your customers that this is it's not affordable, like you said. This is
It's
something.
affordable.
It's not affordable.
It's affordable.
It's not affordable.
It's affordable.
This luxury is something you have to like have, not thinking about the price and the stress of
Yes.
fabrics, choosing fabrics and what's not. That's one of the some of the disadvantages. Yeah. So what about the advantages? I'm sure it's a lot of money. Like you bag a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm safe to call you billionaire, yeah.
Actually, there's no business that the more the advantage being at, you have to have passion for it.
Sure.
But for me, I actually run business more of passion and to make money. Dangote is not selling cement because he loves building houses.
True.
He wants to make money.
Sure.
So I think the advantage of my business is actually I'm making money.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
I'm
making
single.
money, so that's just it. And then when you see your pieces out there and be like, wow, I actually did this. And then people tend to like ask themselves, is this job made in this country? Because we see ourselves as a pure African brand, but that does mostly parts of the European Persian designs, but here in Nigeria. Because most times once people make orders, they be like, are you in Nigeria?
And not only are you even making money, you're creating jobs for people that work for you.
Yes,
like to the steps you take in these are people you give opportunity for them to make money, and it's really good. So what advice would you give someone who's aspiring to go into this royalty design?
The advice itself is in the job. Once you can handle the creative life, once you have the passion for it, but one thing is you have to earn. You have to learn before you earn. So after the learning process, then you take out the L, then you earn, then you can now bugada. Because I can't say it took me 4 years to learn. Can't say it took me 5 years to learn. I'm still in my learning process. Sometimes I have to sit my crews down. I sew, my workers sew. So I have to sit them down and be like, Shegun, does this thing work for this thing? Because a one-man thing, sometimes there are always issues. So do you have that patience to work with people? Do you are you the type that carry people along for your job? Are you the type that don't seem too bossy? Because the creative life, being bossy kills.
Doesn't work.
It doesn't work. You have to share ideas, work with your crews and everything. So that's just I think.
Thank you so much, Black Ajudo. It has been an amazing section with you. And there you have it, guys. Black Ajudo, a royalty fashion designer, creating beautiful magic attires and adding to the economic growth and development. Now remember, the show is proudly sponsored by AFRICUNIA. And to see more videos like this, subscribe to our YouTube channel on AFRICUNIA_TV. Until I come your way again next time, I am Deborah Eze.